Well, hello there. Welcome to On the Beat, the podcast that uncovers full frontal male nudity in cinema. My name is Laura, and I am joined, so happy to be joined by my co-host, Ryan.
Hello. I always question, how happy do you have to be in order for you to have to, explain that every single time we start an episode? Because it is starting to fall, I'm like, is she?
Is it?
I'm like, we're married. And
is it not genuine? Does it not sound genuine?
No, I'm not saying it doesn't sound genuine. I'm kind of thinking, why did you have to proclaim it every time? Is it because you're so happy?
Yeah. Well, I didn't see you for a couple days, and I got home, and
yes,
I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm fucking happy.
Okay. Right,
Just calm down.
Bloody hell. All right.
And I'm so happy to be here with you talking about the 2004 comedy drama Sideways.
Yeah, I like this movie. I've always liked this movie. We watched it again. I was a little bit dubious of whether or not I would, after all this time, thinking, wow, that was a really good Alexander Payne movie, and then quite enjoying it a fair amount. And then we watched it again, and I was like, yeah, no, it's actually a really good Alexander Payne movie.
I don't know if it holds up on a rewatch too much, on a multiple rewatch value, which is something I like in a film. So I wouldn't rate it too highly.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's one for me personally that I can watch a ton of times and still get as much joy out of, except for that particular dick scene, which I love.
Yeah.
But the movie is very funny.
Yeah. No, the humor really pulls out because it's not really anything other than it's just well written kind of human human natural comedy kind of going out.
Human bullshit.
Yeah, pretty much. Because at the forefront of the film's a very convincing double act that really kind of brings a lot of the stuff. There's a lot of emotion in it as well. I think it's obviously quite sad at the forefront as well. But yeah, I think everybody in this movie does very well, and it does hold up because it's it just feels very real and genuine. That's why I think it's so funny.
Yeah, you have a stellar cast. Paul Giamatti plays Miles. Thomas Hayden. Is he Thomas Hayden or Thomas Hayden Church?
Thomas Hayden Church, isn't it?
On Letterboxd, it just says Thomas Hayden.
I've got him written down in my notes as THC.
I know, I always had him there. Whatever, he's Thomas Hayden Church.
Yeah.
As Jack, Virginia Madsen as Maya, and Sandra Oh as Stephanie.
Yep.
And you already said, directed by Alexander Payne.
Yeah. So I like Alexander Payne's stuff. I guess, being very brief about it, there's not too much to kind of say about him for the most part. But I would guess his filmmaking, I've kind of characterized by very good use of kind of economy. At no point do you ever feel like his stuff's relatively quite busy. I feel like it's very kind of solidly put together.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of the benefits come from the fact that he writes most of his work as well. So most of the time, I feel like he comes out with just really kind of charming, satirical films, packed with a bunch of dark humor, which is obviously something I can get quite behind.
Yeah, definitely. He's
a celebrated member. I would say he's been nominated quite a few times by the Academy. That means anything, but certainly it's mostly for his writing. He's never won Best Director or anything like that. But I guess his whole start comes in 1990. His thesis film, The Passion of Martin, got the attention of Universal, who gave him a script job. And I think inevitably during the course of that script job, they didn't like what he'd written, but what he had written.
Oh dear.
Yeah, what he had written, because his thesis film was directly out of college, so he went to UCLA, did a film there, and he gets a script job immediately after leaving. But again, Universal didn't like what he wrote, or they didn't give him the option either, after he'd written it. But that script then goes on to become About Schmidt, which comes out obviously in 2002, and it's that Jack Nicholson vehicle that's very unique, very interesting, has a fantastic hot tub scene, and
it has a great cover. Great cover art.
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
It's probably not called cover art, but I'm just thinking of the DVD.
Well, About Schmidt's the first Alexander Payne I ever saw. That first film that I ever saw of his. So it's quite special. I think that film's pretty good.
Did you not see Election before that?
No, but let's figure out his filmography up to that point.
Okay.
Because Citizen Ruth comes out in 96. Election comes out in 99. About Schmidt comes out in 2002, and then immediately after that in 2004 is the film we're talking about today, which is Sideways. None of these films are my favorite Alexander Payne movie.
Ooh. You got me on tenterhooks here.
Nebraska.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. He's from Omaha, Nebraska, so
Yeah.
that's where he was born.
I think a lot of his movies were based there.
Yes, they've all got that kind of small town living feel about them all.
I think that was
Very quaint.
a big thing for him to film or base a film of his somewhere other than Nebraska
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
for this movie.
Well, Sideways is set in California. But yeah. No, Nebraska holds a very special place for me. I think that film's just incredibly well done. And that's a beautiful film.
Yeah.
But Sideways is a very close second to that movie. But yeah, I mean, just anything else of note for Alexander Payne. I mean, he did write or have a hand in writing Jurassic Park 3. So obviously you can tell where
Good
the quality
Lord.
is in that movie. And
Amazing.
yeah, I don't really have anything else to kind of add on Alexander Payne. I don't know if you have anything else to add on the guy.
I don't really have too much to add about Payne necessarily, but his writing partner, Jim Taylor, who co-wrote this film with him, or the screenplay, they used to be roommates.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day. And he actually met Payne after he was like broke coming back from his first job, and he actually worked for Canon Films.
Huh. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Jim Taylor did. He lived in China and worked for Canon Films, and he basically worked for free.
Yeah.
And then came back to LA and was just kind of doing temp jobs here and there, and that's where he met Alexander Payne. And
to anyone unaware of what Canon Films is, there's a fantastic documentary on that film company, and that is the company that gave us such fantastic films as He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Yes.
And also that Runaway Train movie with Jon Voight, which I think is phenomenal.
It's the Canon documentary is called Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
The Wild Untold Story of Canon Films.
It's crazy, and
so
it's
good.
Yeah, it's
so
well worth listening and watching that. The exploits of Canon Films.
That's like a 5-star documentary.
Yeah, it's really good. It's just really good.
They're
If you're
just
interested in film in general, like I think even knowing anything about Canon Films and their history is very, very, very interesting.
Yeah, well, Jim and Payne wrote Citizen Ruth together, Election together. They wrote About Schmidt together, and they wrote Sideways together.
Okay.
And they didn't work together. I think Jim Taylor would produce some of his stuff every once in a while. But the next thing that they wrote together was Downsizing in 2017.
Okay. Yeah, Downsizing I've not seen, but I've not heard good things about it.
Matt Damon.
Mm-hmm. And they got shrunk.
Yeah, I was not interested in that film.
Sounds stupid. Let's continue on with Sideways.
Okay, let me give you the synopsis.
Synopsi.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Two middle-aged men embark on a spiritual journey through Californian wine country. One is an unpublished novelist suffering from depression, and the other is only days away from walking down the aisle. I feel like that's too descriptive and not descriptive enough.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit kind of...
Two dysfunctional best friends go on a wine tasting tour, and chaos ensues. How about that?
Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah, I think so.
Thank you.
So.
The tagline's good, though.
What's that?
In search of wine. In search of women. In search of themselves.
Wow. Love it. I'm pretty sure that was in the trailer.
That's good.
Yeah. That's
good.
pretty good. It's pretty good. I think, like...
Road trip movie.
Yeah, I guess leaning too far into its, like, quirky side. Because Sideways is incredibly quirky.
Yeah.
Like it would maybe potentially alienate a cinema-going audience. Or at least, like, if you focus too much on the comedy aspects. Because much of, like, what you read from that synopsis could make it out to feel like an incredibly kind of standard PG-13 happy-go-Larry kind of cinema-going experience, where certainly your audience is in their late 40s, mid 50s.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, that looks like a lovely place to go.
I mean, that's what I thought when we were watching it, and I'm not in my 50s.
I'm not like a wine buff, but
I look over and I go, ooh, Ryan, would you like to go on a wine tasting tour?
There's
like,
a thing, and
weird?
I wrote this down, and yeah, I would love to go on a wine tasting tour.
It looks
but like,
fun.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like, there's the thing that this film does really well, and it never holds the film back to any sort of degree, is this very stark kind of romanticization of the pretension of wine and winemaking.
Okay, yeah.
Because making wine and wine in general, very pretentious.
Yeah, for sure.
Incredibly pretentious. And you never at any point go, well, you never roll your eyes and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. Because you've got Thomas Hayden Church playing Jack, who's like your mediator through the whole thing. When he's asking simple questions like, so when do we drink this? You know, like, it's not...
Every time they go into a tasting, and Giamatti's always got some sort of issue with it, and Church is always like, oh, I liked it.
Well, the thing is, like, I quite like Giamatti because he's a cultured man.
Indeed.
He is intelligent. He's a wannabe novelist. And this is just something that, like, he's able to just put his efforts into. And it's just a big interest for him.
Well, it's always nice to have something that you are super interested in that can become your hobby. That you can just be completely like, this is my subject that I am an expert on.
Yes.
And I've got this, and no one else can tear me down. I don't have that.
No, I feel like as much.
But it's probably just.
No, I think you definitely do. I think you're just It's
probably just penis movies.
I think it's just movies in general. I mean, to be fair.
I'm all right.
Yeah, but I would say, like, this is a hobby that becomes an obsession, and it becomes the vehicle for effectively, like, his grief and his depression. Okay, and the problem is that because it's that vehicle, and it's the way that he treats it as an outlet for this depression, he's also dealing with alcohol. So he's also abusing it. So he makes himself look like a fucking ass sometimes because he does abuse it. But again, it's because of the way that he's dealt with, his divorce. Yeah. Which we're constantly reminded was 2 years ago. And he should be kind of moving on with his life. But he feels like it's incredibly stagnant, and it's standing still. And he felt like he's made this 700-page novel, which people are saying is fantastic, but it's just not sellable or marketable. So he feels like a complete failure. So everything he's doing with his time feels like a complete waste of his time. So very much him indulging in this week-long trip, which is meant to be Jack's, like, stag do, pretty much. Yep. It's something he's not fucking interested in. He doesn't want to do the wine tasting. He doesn't want to go play the golf.
He wants to party.
He wants to hunt for puss.
Oh, wow.
That's what he's doing. Yeah. He's like, he wants to get laid. And Miles won't get laid.
No.
But Jack will.
Easily.
Yeah.
With just about anyone.
I mean, it's very much his goal on this entire trip is I guess like that's.
I think he's always very helpful to Miles, though, in that way where he's trying so hard, and he's finding women that at least he knows that he's attracted to and that he can get along with, and he's trying to put them together and facilitate some sort of romantic connection. Yeah. But Miles is just so up his own ass in his own depression in his own head that he just won't accept it.
No. And that's the thing. This is a trip that Miles has taken many times pretty much on his own,
Yeah.
and probably with his ex-wife at some point.
Oh, yeah.
So they've all been aware of the fact that he's probably gone up there with her, but then also he's gone up there alone. He's now divorced, and he's continued to go up there alone. So a lot of the people that he's been friendly with, I kind of feel like have taken pity on him to some degree, because he is such a kind of mainstay of that area. But again, these are all wine people. So, you know, they're all kind of cut from the same cloth, so to speak. But yeah, I would say you've got two very kind of polar opposite characters who happen to be friends from college, and they go on a road trip and hilarity ensues.
Yeah.
It's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
And there's drama, there's romance.
There's fucking.
There's fucking. Plenty
Drinking.
of fucking. Plenty of drinking. And certainly it's just, you would think it would be this relatively quite banal and stagnant film that just, you know, I mean, you feel like you've probably seen it 100 times before, where it's like, man divorced, is on his own, then falls in love with the girl of his dreams, so to speak. But it's never kind of framed that way, because real life itself isn't technically framed that way. Like, it doesn't really work out like that. You know, like for him to meet the girl of his dreams is the first time meeting her, the girl that he ends up technically falling for and falling in love with, and who falls for him, effectively Mia. They've known for themselves, like they've both gone through
Maya.
shit. Yeah, they've both gone through their own collective amounts of shit that they feel like they can relate to each other.
Yeah, they're
and
both divorced.
The one thing that brings them together is obviously their love for fine wine. For wine. So.
For that sweet, sweet Pinot Noir.
Yes.
It's the Pinot Noir, right? It's not the Grigio.
Pinot Noir. Well, Pinot Noir is the red version. Pinot Grigio
is the white one.
Is the white one.
Earlier in the movie, they popped open a bottle of Pinot Noir, and Jack was like, "Why is this white?" Remember? Because
it had different grapes.
Right. So
yes.
Can a Pinot Noir be white?
Yes, because of the color of the skin on the grape.
I wonder what makes it is it a type of grape? A white type of grape? I know nothing about wine.
You have your red grapes, you have your pink grapes, you have your white grapes, and you have your green grapes. And all of the skins, they're what color the wine. So if you have a dark red, that's a dark red wine you have there.
I don't know. But I wanted them to explain it more. I kind of liked it. And I know that Alexander Payne was saying that he took out a lot of the dialogue of the explanations of wine making, and because he was like, it's boring. Yeah. I thought it was interesting. Maybe I need to watch a wine documentary.
Yes, there are books on the subject.
No, I don't want to read.
Okay. But I think already
got time for that.
Well, if you want to read about wine and horticulture and stuff, but the thing is, and I feel like what they kind of really get across with Miles as well is like he's got this very kind of praised obsession with like convolution, you know, like anything for him never seems to be simple. That's why he has like a massive novel that can never be sold, and he kind of indulges so far into wine where it just kind of, again, I would say like he's very far into the subject to the point where when compared to obviously Jack, he kind of makes Jack look like a fucking idiot.
Right, which I'm sure he's not.
No, he's not. But I think he's very kind of, he's not of the same sort of track of mind, you know?
No.
He's a man of simple pleasures.
Indeed.
And he's also like a commercial actor and stuff like that. So he's all face. Yeah. For the most part, you know? I
love that they're still friends.
Yeah. Well, I feel like there's plenty in which Miles's character has had to deal with over the years with having to deal with Jack, but he is Jack's best man at the coming wedding. You know what I mean? Yes. And he has known him since college, and these men are quite easily in their 40s by this point. Yeah. You know? Like I feel like both of these characters are making the steps they're making because they feel like time is running out for them. So Jack's getting married. But let's be fair, Jack's a bit of a philanderer.
I mean, maybe for Jack, but then also, if you think about it, if you see, you remember when at the end of the film, and you meet kind of at a distance at least, Jack's fiance, she lives in a mansion.
Yes.
She's rich. So it kind of makes you think like, okay, he's philandering about, doing his thing. Is it because he's an actor? Is it because he's an asshole? Is it because he's maybe very insecure and unsure of himself and kind of using his tiny little bit of fame on soap operas to like get laid and maybe make himself feel better?
Maybe.
But then you've got this like rich fiance, and it kind of makes you think like even worse of him.
Well, I'm going to say that his fiance is probably personally not rich. It comes from her father.
But that doesn't matter. That's money, baby. It's like a waterfall.
Yeah, but then there's a kind of like there's a shallowness to Jack's character in the sense that like which makes me think he's like he could continue on with the philandering, but he sees a good thing with this woman.
Yeah,
you know.
Like, she's probably good looking. She's got money. She's well-to-do.
Yeah.
Might as well.
But it's the very definition of settling at that point. He's going against his own nature to be like, you know what?
Settling might be a different word. I don't know what it would be. Settling means
the perfect word.
Desperation.
No, I think
loneliness.
Yeah, but
he probably is very lonely, though.
He is probably very lonely. He's maybe not getting the same amount of work. He's probably just like, you know what, I could live in this fucking fancy house in California, because real estate in California is fucking expensive.
Seems like it's expensive everywhere. Yikes.
Well, I don't know. I saw I think you could get I think it's like the same 300 odd K house you can get in Florida. It's at least 600K in California, so it could be a lot worse. But
we'll both be under the ocean soon enough, so.
Yeah, but like I feel like these are two men who are looking at like the second part of their life, and you're kind of desperately looking for a footnote, you know, like you're like desperately looking for something to be like, okay, I did that, you know.
Aren't we all?
You know,
maybe that's what makes it so endearing.
Yeah,
I mean, we're always searching for the thing that's going to make us happy, searching for the thing that's going to give us a mark in life, and
it's a very human trait to feel like time is running away from you.
Yeah,
I feel like, and I feel like it's something you can't. There's no amount of people who are going to turn around and be like, time doesn't matter, and it's like, fuck you.
Time is a construct.
Yeah, time is a construct that we have all created ourselves to make us feel fucking terrible.
Well, maybe that's why this movie is such a dark comedy.
Yeah, but for the most part, I mean, the dark comedy comes from. Because Miles does some questionable things. Yeah. And for the most part, Jack and Miles are lying to these two women about the fact that they're not getting married. Jack's just like fucking Sandra Ho, like
dipping
like
that
crazy.
Wick.
Yeah, telling her things, saying he loves her. She's got a child and stuff. Like, it's a real messy situation that they end up creating. And Miles has a good thing going with this. With Maya, that's very true and very honest.
Yeah,
you know,
and he is honest with her as much as he can be, and I think that's.
And this whole
that's the least we could ask for.
Yeah, this whole episode completely jeopardizes that. So
I want to jump right into it, like especially when Stephanie, right, when Sandra Oh finds out that Jack had been lying the whole time, and he'd been telling her, oh, I love you, I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to take care of you and your kid, blah, blah, blah. And she finds out, because Miles had told Maya, he wanted to be honest with her, that Jack was engaged and going to get married in a day, 2 days.
Well, they had to get back for the rehearsal dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a good liar. He's not spent his time lying. I think that's the thing. And I guess, to his own detriment, that's probably the reason why things have gone so south for him, is because he is maybe a little bit too honest.
I don't know.
He's honest about wine. He might as well be honest about everything else in his life. So.
Well, when Sandra Oh finds out that he was, when Jack was lying, she waits outside their motel and then slams him in the face with her motorcycle helmet.
Yep.
Repeatedly. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I love
just
that.
batters fuck out of him.
There's the shit out of his face.
Yeah, no, it's rough. It is rough.
And then she's cool as hell, vroom vroom, tooting away on her motorcycle.
Because the thing is, as any good comedy is, situations have to escalate to such an obscene level, you know?
It's not funny unless there's a little bit of violence.
Yes, comedy violence.
Show me the blood.
Yeah, if someone's not slipping on a banana peel, I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I want.
That's damn right.
Damn straight. Banana peels all over the place. But,
well, yeah, that's when he gets into that situation where they go to a restaurant, and I think... that happened. Was his face all fucked up?
So basically, his face gets all fucked up. They go to the hospital room. He finds out... Basically, like, he feels like by the time he comes out of that hospital, his career is over because, again, he's an actor. He's an on-screen actor.
Yeah, his face, his nose
his face is all fucked up.
destroyed.
And he's like, I'm going to have to get 3 operations. They're waiting for my nose to heal before they break it again so they can fix it. It's like, fuck. But they end up they have to go to a different restaurant because, again, they've completely fucked up the situation. They were all going to a place called the Hitching Post, which is pretty much a place that Miles had gone to countless times, and that's
Maya worked,
where Maya waitress is,
where she works,
and he knows the barman, and it's always good going somewhere that you ken the barman, eh? Know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And he gives you all the good little bonuses.
A little heavy pour.
Yeah, heavy pour.
Heck yeah.
A little bit of a slide on that tab.
Oh, yeah.
Not bad.
How many drinks did you have? Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Just the 2, Jerry.
Perfect. And he puts up his hands and it's 7.
And then he slaps you right on the tuchus.
Yeah, he does.
Gives you a kiss on the way out.
Gives you his phone number.
Just kidding. Already had it.
His hotel room key.
You have a key to his house.
He has a bowl of keys sitting at the front door. You walk into the living room and there's 12 other people sitting there.
Is that you, Margaret?
Including Sigourney Weaver.
Oh.
Yeah, you've seen the ice storm, right?
Hell yeah. Aang Lee's The Ice Storm.
Fucking key party.
Elijah Wood's in that movie.
All right, shit. Young boy. Young one.
Lil Wood.
Yeah. Little
Young Wood.
Yeah. Talking of wood.
So, yeah.
So, yeah, we end up going to that shitty restaurant. They sell nothing but what looks like ribs and potatoes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Just a kind of sweet, don't want to call her simple server who, she's just kind of...
It's a very kind of like...
She's got a little bit of Southern accent.
It's a wholesome American traditional sort of restaurant.
A little bit of Southern comfort food.
Yeah. There's a lot of animal heads hanging off the walls. But, it's all mostly made out of like wood and timber. And
the restaurant?
Probably got a fireplace, yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Checkered tablecloths.
Yeah, so... Yeah, Jack sawses up the waitress.
Yeah, he sure does. And trying to get her to recognize him, from General Hospital, I think. That soap opera.
There's not a ton of explanation to, like, every time, because Jack's very good at doing this. Every single time he's just like, I'm a TV actor, and they're like, oh, what would I have seen you? And he starts reciting lines, about like STD creams, or like insurance adverts,
like the terms and conditions.
Yeah, it's like, you sound just like one of those guys. And it's like, yeah, I do, because I am one of those guys. So he uses his charm.
Well, he was saying he was on General Hospital, and she was like, what do you mean? And his face is all fucked up, and he tries to say a line. She's like, oh my God, you're him from General Hospital? I watched that when I was younger. It wasn't my mother's preferred soap.
Okay, I don't even know what it is.
It's a soap set in a hospital.
Of course, we had plenty of them back home as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But my mom watched All My Children, and that's what I used to watch.
All My Children?
That's what it was called.
Huh. Because back home we had, and everyone's going to fucking love this shit, but we had Neighbours, we had EastEnders,
yep.
Coronation Street.
Don't you still have those?
Of course we do, because they are the staples of fucking British TV. Other than the fact that obviously
were those daytime soaps?
Well, Neighbours is an export from Australia. Yeah.
Prime time.
Yeah.
That's different, Brian. These are daytime soaps.
Oh.
These are your middle of the day for your classic housewife.
Yeah, Neighbours was... I don't know if it started at 6 or it was like 5. Might be at 5.
I feel like All My Children was on at noon. Susan Lucci, she finally won a daytime Emmy.
I don't know about any kind
after
of daytime
like 30
stuff.
years.
Well, I don't know, like... I mean, I was about to say something like, oh, I fucking work for a living. I wouldn't know, but that was not the case. Like, you would definitely catch things during the day.
This is when I was a kid, I'm talking about. When I was like in elementary school. Yeah. Or like when I would come home sick. We had a daytime soap
that was called Doctors.
All right.
Yeah.
Like General Hospital.
No, it was about GPs.
Okay.
Yeah. And you were kind of wondering, how can they stack out any drama from being a GP, like a general practitioner, and for whatever reason they could.
Of course they could.
You know, the car would fucking explode at some point.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
hell yeah.
Fucking crazy.
Daytime soaps are pretty mental and pretty fun sometimes.
They can be hefty.
You know, like some guys, like dead ex-stepbrother came back from the grave and then married their mom and all that stuff.
Cool. So we're in the restaurant. He saws up the waitress.
Yes.
She's caught his eye.
And
yeah, pretty much
vice versa.
He ends up going fucking home with her.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah.
And the issue, I think, is I guess it's not the issue, but Giamatti's back at his motel and he's sleeping, right? Mm-hmm. And then he gets a knock on the motel door. Yes. And it's Church. Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's Jack. Jack. He is 100% buck naked.
Yeah.
This isn't even the dig scene we're talking about. We're going into it. You don't see him naked. He's all in shadow, and he's cupping his
bits and bobs.
Yeah.
But he does he takes a cover, covers himself with it. This is not the Thomas Hayden dick introduction that we're getting here.
No, we don't get that in this film. Sorry.
Nah.
I don't think we get it ever, actually.
Maybe not. But pretty much he gets in. And Miles finds the whole thing fucking hilarious because it's just a comedy of errors. He feels like he's taught him his lesson, but
what happened is that the server that he went home with, her husband worked typically like a late shift, but he got home early. So he said that the husband walks in when he had like the server bent over like. Oh God, what did he say exactly? He was like knee deep in her asshole or something.
Pretty much he's like, yeah, he walked in and I'm on top of her, my dick in her ass.
Yeah, like ridiculous. And then the husband chases him out of the house without being able to grab his clothes and he left his wallet. Yes. Oh no, but the wallet had his wedding rings in it.
Yes.
That were specially made and engraved with dolphins.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a weird, uncharacteristic moment, obviously, for Jack as well, is that his moment of clarity, he basically breaks down.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I need to get those fucking rings back, because I can't lose my wife-to-be.
I can't lose her.
I can't do
He finally
this.
realizes, after getting chased down the street naked, that he cares about his fiancée.
He does care. I feel like he always did care. Problem is that his... he's a male instincts or whatever. Fucking...
Gross.
Took hold. But, so they've got to go back to the goddamn house. So they go back to the house. They're like, there's a moment where they're like, well, how the fuck am I supposed to get them back? I'm meant to just knock on the door and be like, do you mind if I have a little look around for my friend's wallet? He was only just here having sex with your wife. But basically, like, after a little moment, it basically ends up with fucking Miles. Giamatti's got to sneak into the house.
He sneaks into the house, like, he goes around the back.
Yeah.
Yard,
slider doors open,
goes into the slider door and just walks into their house. I couldn't believe it. Like, the balls on him throughout the whole film. He's not meek necessarily, but I guess the only time that we see him maybe needing like a little bit of bravery is with the girl, with Maya, and he's not showing any type of gumption or bravery in that way.
But he does have relatively quite animated, not violent, but animated outbursts when he kind of throws a few wobblies.
Fair enough, but he's sober, and this is right in the morning. Like, dawn is breaking, right?
It's just dead of the morning.
So just the balls that he has to go break in or sneak into this person's house to try and find this wallet is wild.
It's crazy.
It is so stressful to watch. But he goes in, he sees the trousers, right? Like his jeans, Jack's jeans, on like a beanbag in this disgusting
There's shit piled up everywhere, like on every surface. There doesn't seem to be a clean surface everywhere.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but there's no wallet in there, and so Giamatti has got to crawl. He crawls on the floor. He hears the server and her husband boning hard in the bedroom down the hall.
The husband is teaching her a lesson.
I think they like it. That's definitely what the thing was. Is that it's a thing that she does to get him all riled up. He likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, I fucked that actor. He's like, yeah, you did. Yeah. I caught you. Yeah, I did.
It's kind of,
so funny.
It's a very kind of real moment that's very kind of like, you're like, oh, you know, it's kind of like people who watch porn. That's not what people look like when they're having sex. It's usually a little bit wobbly. It's a little bit kind of looks a bit strange. It's very real.
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You wouldn't want to see yourself in a position like that.
I suppose not.
No. But he's, you know, he's teaching her a lesson, so to speak.
With a sexy time.
With some sexy. And,
and not teaching her a lesson in a violent way. I mean, they're just having sex.
No.
And they're just giving each other dirty talks.
They're like talking filthy.
But just you got Giamatti on the ground, just kind of peeking up at them, just watching them. And then he clocks the wallet on their nightstand or on their like on their dresser.
Yeah, it's on the dresser.
On the other side of the bedroom. I remember looking over at you. I go, is he just gonna go grab it?
I mean, what would you do in that situation?
I wouldn't have been in the house. I wouldn't have gone in that house.
I mean, if you had to go in the house.
I don't have to go in there. I would have been like, Thomas Hayden Church, get the fuck out of this car and go in there and make up for your mistakes. Like, that's your wallet, ain't my problem.
I think if you're going to get the wallet while they're in the throes of passion. Yeah. I mean, you get your fucking hand. You run over there, grab it, come back. I mean, that's the way I've done it before.
What?
Just grab things.
And
that wasn't meant to grab. Yeah. I don't know. That's just made up. But anyway,
like, what'd you do? What have you done?
I don't know. What if you want a lollipop that you weren't allowed? You know, and you're like, I want to run over. You grab it.
No, you walk up, sidle next to it,
saunter,
and you put it in your pocket. You pretend like you didn't do it.
Well, if someone's looking at it though, but they're on the other side of the room,
you gotta turn around real swift.
Oh, okay.
That's like in the thieves' code book.
Either way, he gets the wallet.
I guess you can't like sneaky. Giamatti can't do a sneaky.
No,
in
they
the
would
same
notice
room
him.
as other people.
Yeah, they would notice him.
Yeah, he snags that thing and he runs out of the house. And there's that shot from, if I'm not mistaken, from inside of the car. Like
from the inside of the car, we can see through the driver's side window,
the facade of the house.
Yes,
and
it's just the front door and the front lawn.
And Giamatti's running, holding the wallet, just
screaming towards the car. Yeah.
And then you see not far after him is, I don't know what his name in the movie is, but the actor's MC Gainey.
He is referred to as Cammie's husband.
Cammie's husband, that was her name.
Aye, but it's MC Gainey.
MC Gainey, and so Cammie's husband.
He's from a whole bunch of different things. So, Con Air, he's in Terminator 3 for some reason.
Rise of the Machines.
Yeah. Wild Hogs, Mighty Ducks. Dukes of Hazzard,
Breakdown,
The Fan, and Breakdown. I was leaving Breakdown to last because Breakdown is probably the best one out of all them.
Is Breakdown better than Con Air? I don't know.
So. I really like Breakdown.
I do. Breakdown is amazing.
Breakdown is a very different beast to Con Air.
Con Air is just awesome.
It does have Malkovich in it, so Buscemi's in there. Isn't Ving Rhames in Con Air as well?
Oh, goodness.
I think he is. He fucking better be. Is he?
I was going to say John Cusack, who is in that movie, but he's not. He's fine.
Maybe Ving Rhames ain't in that movie. Like no, he is.
John Cusack got really weird recently in the last 10 years. I saw him at a convention, and you can do those photo ops and you pay, I don't know how much money, and you can go up for 3 seconds and stand next to your favorite celebrity at the convention, and they'll take a picture of you. It's always super weird.
Yeah.
But he was in all the photos just standing there kind of with his hands in his pockets and holding his vape pen.
Oh, okay.
In all the photos. So all these people really want a picture with cool John Cusack. Got nasty John Cusack holding a vape pen. In all their photos they probably paid $50 for.
Hey, look. Price of fame.
I feel like he looked like he smelled in those photos.
Well, don't judge him too harshly. God knows what he's gone through.
Sorry, John.
Yeah, come on. But, MC Gainey runs after Giamatti, who jets into the car. Gainey is completely stark-bollock naked.
He has a beanie on.
He does, yeah.
He's wearing a beanie.
Yeah, it's the one thing he didn't take off. Like Tom Jones says, you can leave your hat on. So,
But he runs up to the car.
All wibbly-wobbly, things bouncing around.
Slams up to the driver's side window and just
his
belly and his dick just smashes against the window. He's just screaming.
Yeah.
I don't remember what he was yelling.
He's like, I'll fucking find you or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Words to that effect.
They got the
what
car.
What he says is not important.
They got the car started really quickly, and they kind of jet off, and he's just chasing them down the street screaming. Dick swinging around in the wind.
Yep.
It was glorious.
Yes. Comedy penis at its finest.
You know MC Gainey was a mortician's apprentice before he became an actor?
Huh.
He was in the army as well.
We'll have to start somewhere. Yeah, well, he fucking looks like he was in the army. That guy looks like he doesn't take shit from no one. Yeah, pretty much they fake a car accident.
I feel like there's a couple of things that I definitely didn't get to touch on yet, and it's not specifically related to the story of the film.
Okay.
I don't know if you have anything if there's anything specific you wanted to touch on first before I dive into some weird stuff.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I have covered what I wanted to cover. But yeah, if you've got some stuff to say, then say something. I might be able to jump in.
Okay. I've got a couple of, you will, specifically. I wrote something down especially for you.
Oh, fuck.
Rex Pickett is the author of the book Sideways.
Yeah.
And he actually wrote a sequel called Vertical. And that was written in 2010. And that's the same character 7 years later.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then he wrote another one. So there's a trilogy of the Sideways characters in these novels. And the third one has a terrible name. It's called Sideways 3, Chile.
Nice.
They do Chilean wine.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah. And so I looked it up because there's not really... They're never going to do a film. Because they want Alexander Payne to be involved. And he's like, absolutely not.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of
He did
feel like
a
that
Costanza, He did the perfect line, dropped the mic, and then walked out the door. He's like, I did a good job. I'm out. I don't want to do this again.
Nah, because it's the thing is, I feel like with Sideways, it's very much a kind of one and done thing. What do you want to know?
I don't want to know anything.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
I'm happy with what they've got. But I looked up on Goodreads the ratings for all of the movies, and as you can imagine, it gets worse over time, but not actually too bad. Sideways has a 3.7. Vertical, the sequel, has a 3.5.
Okay.
And Sideways 3, Chile, has a 3.2.
Okay.
But,
I mean, it's diminishing returns with novelizations and things like that. Certainly, let's put it this way, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books, diminishing quality as they go on.
Okay.
Same as the films do.
That makes sense.
Yeah, the Swedish adaptations, obviously, because they did all of them, or most of them, pretty much. Not the American ones, because there's technically only 2. But,
I don't think Pickett has a great rate of success in terms of getting his novels turned into screenplays and getting them picked up by studios. Okay. But he did work on the screenplay for Alien 3.
Fuck.
My other tidbit is that George Clooney talked to Payne and asked about the role of Jack. He wanted to play Thomas Hayden Church's role. Good old Clune.
To be fair, THC's role in that movie, fucking amazing. Really good. That is the role of a lifetime. playing Jack in that film, because it is a lot of fun. But the thing is, Clooney gets the Descendants later on, and to be honest, that's probably a far better role for Clooney than the Jack role would have been.
Well, yeah, Payne said that he didn't want to work with him on this film in particular because he said that he didn't think audiences would accept him as like the washed up TV actor.
No. Yeah, it would never
Even though
work.
he is a successful post TV actor in real life.
Yeah, but we're also talking about George fucking Clooney here.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's like he's lovable. He's the face. He's a beautiful man, and no one's gonna get it. But he's like, I don't want to work with you on this, but I do want to work with you in the future, which is why The Descendants in 2011.
Yeah, and anyone who have ever seen The Descendants, that film is very good, very, very good.
I think I saw that movie, and I think I hated it.
Oh well.
So maybe I'll give it another go.
Okay.
I think I'm mixing it up with that horrible Emma Stone movie, Aloha.
Okay, well then, yeah, you are 100% mixing it up.
Terrible.
Right,
But it became a really fun in-joke. My first trip to Scotland before I moved there.
Okay,
and met you, my love.
Yeah. I mean, that's also a joke I'm not aware of either.
Where we go,
so it's kind of lost on me.
Will you? So the joke is, will you Emma Stone me? And so when we would take photos, me and my friends, we would just slightly look over our left shoulder in a very coy way.
Cool.
Because that's what she did. Yeah. I don't think she looked straight at the camera or anywhere near it.
I think there's certainly a sect of the female population that might take issue with you talking to each other saying you would Emma Stone me.
The only award this film won, it was nominated for quite a few, but it won Best Adapted Screenplay.
That is the
Academy
thing.
Award.
Yeah, that is the one thing that Alexander Payne seems to be able to get nominated for and almost win quite consistently is Best Adapted Screenplay.
Why doesn't he write his own stuff?
Because he fucking bases some shit on books. I don't know. Like he just has a knack for it. But the thing is like I think he's a pretty solid writer, you know. One of the best bits of the movie is when he drinks too much and he does a bit of drinking and dialing, and you never drink and dial.
I liked so much their friendship connection where he could just, THC could look at Giamatti and just know everything all the time. He always knew exactly how he felt.
Yeah.
He knew exactly what he was thinking.
That dinner scene is very well done.
Yeah, you just see Giamatti getting more and more depressed.
Well, he's just getting more and more drunk because he's getting more and more stupid. That's the problem. And I kind of feel like that's a very relatable moment because we've all at some point done something like that.
Of course.
Where we've turned ourselves into a fucking ass because we drank too much. But
we never learn our lesson.
No. Anyway, I'm not drinking any fucking Merlot.
Well, let's get to our ratings, if you're ready for it.
Yeah. So, movie first, I guess.
Movie first, let's do it. You go first.
Well, I gave Sideways 5 stars.
Holy shit.
Because of the way it makes me feel.
Wow.
Yeah.
The thing is,
here's my thing, is that the film itself, I feel to be very warm and very comforting when I watch it.
Okay.
Yeah? And it's bloody funny.
Yeah.
And certainly there's points where I was sitting down, I was laughing, and you're looking at me, and I'm like, just leave me alone. Like, I mean, I'm in my element. I'm enjoying myself.
Well, like, full disclosure here, I was working while we were watching this movie today, so.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you knew it. I had all of my computers out.
Yeah. I mean,
my bad.
I like this movie an awful lot. Like, I think this film ticks a lot of boxes for me. And the thing is, it's not my favorite Alexander Payne movie, but I mean, I watched it again today and I was like, it can't have the same effect on me this time round. I was like, yeah, it did. Great. Here we go. I mean, it's nice. And I feel like it explores a few things. Like, they're very universal human emotional kind of traits and ideas and things, and certainly stuff that I feel like I can relate to as well.
Okay.
Where you kind of feel like, oh fuck, I'm getting older, like what the fuck am I doing with myself? And it's like you feel like your one chance that you have, you feel like it's your last chance, when really in reality, like, every chance is still a chance up until the point where you end up in the fucking grave. So I kind of feel like
that's a morbid but very nice way of looking at it.
Yeah. I mean, people should stop worrying about not doing things and just do them, Part of part of living is failing, so to speak. So,
It's all growth.
It's all growth. We're
Hopefully
all
it's
growing.
not all a growth. It's just growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Found a lump in my balls.
Like, oh no, it is the end.
I've got a lump in my head. Got a lump between my pants. Hey, fucking. But yeah, no, I really like Sideways. Puts a smile on my face, to say the least. Like,
okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I gave it a 4 for the film.
Okay.
Which, yeah, I don't think it's too generous from my perspective.
No.
I do like it. I think it's fun.
It would be a solid 4, and I was going to give it 4.5, but like, when I start getting like upset near towards the end, I'm
goodness.
I'm like, you know what? Like, why not? Like,
okay.
I don't tend to feel emotionally affected by films that much now, you know? Certainly stuff that I watch that's new, like I don't really have that. And I don't know if like a lot of films have that capability to do that to me.
I'm going to give you one example.
What's that?
Pig with Nicolas Cage.
Didn't cry during that movie though.
Oh, I cried like a newborn.
That's a different thing, and I am not ruining Pig because Pig is still a relatively quite recent film. So
5-star film.
Yeah, don't talk about it. Just go see it.
Oh my gosh. Beautiful.
So 4 stars for Sideways from Big Laura.
Yeah.
All right. What about the dick scene though?
5 stars.
5 stars here as well. I kind of feel like it doesn't need much in the way of explanation.
You've got your visibility, you've got your context. Your visibility, absolute 5 stars. Your context is funny. And I know that we've kind of gone back and forth between how penises are represented in film.
Yeah.
But I think that this kind of ticks a sort of box where it's not making fun or making a joke of someone being naked.
No.
And it's not even showing like their vulnerability in any way.
No.
This is like a man that's
Enraged.
Probably more so enraged, showing his masculinity.
Yeah.
And it's perfect.
Yeah.
You know? It's funny and it's very relevant
I say,
to
like,
the story.
Out of the collection of films that we cover, because some of the stuff that we cover is quite, either it's a little sexy,
oh yeah,
or it's incredibly dark.
Fair.
So stuff like this, I'm quite happy to put in, say, I mean, it goes alongside, say, the dick scene in Fisher King.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, I wouldn't say played the same way, but it's the same kind of, it's eliciting the same kind of level of response.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Where it's just kind of like, that's wild. You know?
Like, oh, look at him go.
It's crazy. It's like, oh, there it is. And then it's, you know.
This one's more of a shock value.
Yeah, you don't expect
But also, I mean, if something like that's happening, someone broke into your house and they're running out, stealing something from you.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? You going to put pants on?
I'm probably fucking going to Patrick Bateman it. Like, I'm going to...
Oh, yeah.
Stick a pair of shoes on.
Stick a pair of sneakers on.
Yeah, stick a pair of shoes on and just start chasing it down some hallways. Not with a chainsaw. I don't have a chainsaw. But with a knife. You know, like, you would just do it.
And just dangle that knife around the stairwell.
Yeah, just like...
Pew!
Gotcha. And then I start laughing maniacally. I was like, ah!
There's no penis in that movie.
No, we won't cover it either.
I love that movie.
Yeah, no, I think Sideways is a goodie.
Yes, it is a goodie.
Folk out there should watch it.
It is a goodie.
Yeah.
And if it is streaming anywhere, we're trying to collect all of them. I mean, it's streaming wherever you can get your streamings. I don't know if it's free anywhere.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's on Vudu, it's on Amazon, iTunes, Google. So, you know, if you want to watch it, it's fairly available. I mean, and to be fair, this is a movie I think a lot of people owned in the mid-2000s.
Yeah, this film's not
So if you want to walk into a Goodwill, I'm sure you could find it for $1 or $2.
Yeah. Not hard. Not hard
to find.
No.
And it's worth having. I used to own this movie too.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us did. Thank you so much, Ryan. Always.
Thank you. I'm
Always
glad
for coming today.
Yeah, this seems like one of the few places that I get appreciated.
Shut your face. You shut your face.
Well.
we'll do this again soon. And make sure, everyone, to rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. It's always very helpful. And tell your friends. And follow us on Instagram at OnTheBiTTE, BiTTE. And if you see any dicks in any movies, guys, send them to us. I think our email is hellothere@onthebeat.com.
Yeah.
That would be mega helpful. And you can also send us a message on Instagram. I always love it. And it's my favorite text to get from my friends. I got one today. Oh, have you seen the dick in this movie? And I'm like, no, I haven't. Write that shit down. And it's like my job and it's my passion. So send them in.
So
I'd
we
love
can
it.
cover them.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have requests too, maybe we'll think about doing them as well. But coming to you from the Hitching Post.
Boom.
The bar from the Hitching Post.
Yeah.
I have been Laura.
And I have been Ryan.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Till next time.